Mesopotamia, 6000 BC. The Tigris floodplain. At dawn, a man walks behind an ox. He is holding a forked wooden stick, sharpened at one end, bound with leather to a wooden beam across the animal's shoulders. The stick drags through the dark, silty soil, scratching a shallow line behind him. He walks the length of a field, turns, and scratches a second line. By sunset, he has scratched 100 lines. He has just invented everything we will one day call civilization. 12,000 years ago, every human on Earth was a hunter-gatherer. We lived in small bands, moved with the seasons, ate wild plants, and hunted wild animals. Anthropologists call it the original affluent society. Roughly 20 hours of work a week, no taxes, no kings, no property. We were equal and we were free. Then someone picked up a sharpened stick and scratched a line in the dirt. And with that single motion, everything changed. The first plow is called an ard, a simple wooden blade dragged through soil to break the surface before planting. It appears in Mesopotamia around 6000 BC, older than writing, older than the wheel, older than the first city. This is the part most people do not understand, the part historians leave out. The plow did not arrive after civilization. The plow is what created civilization. Here is why. A hunter-gatherer cannot store food for more than a few days. Meat rots, berries spoil. You eat what you kill, and you move on. A farmer can store grain for years, and stored grain changes absolutely everything about human life. It means you can stay in one place, build walls, build a home. Some people can specialize, making pots, weaving cloth, guarding the granary. Your village can grow into a town. Your town can grow into a city. But it also means something darker. Stored grain can be taxed. Stored grain can be stolen. Stored grain makes it worth owning land. Someone has to own it, which means someone else does not. The plow is where human inequality begins, where it has always begun. Hunter-gatherers have no word for king. Farmers do, because farmers have something to lose. Within 2,000 years of the first ard, Mesopotamia has kings, temples, armies, tax collectors, scribes to record every sack of grain owed to the state. Writing itself was invented by accountants trying to keep track of all that plowed grain. The plow did not just feed humanity, it bound humanity to the soil. And across medieval Europe, it got even worse. Medieval northern Europe is covered in dense wet clay soil. The ancient Roman ard cannot cut it. For centuries, northern Europe is underdeveloped, underpopulated, and poor, until the heavy plow arrives. Around 800 AD, a new design spreads across Europe. A coulter to cut the soil vertically, a plowshare to slice it horizontally, a moldboard to turn it over. It is heavy. It requires a team of 8 oxen. It is too expensive for any one family to own. So peasants share it. They pool their oxen. They work the same strips of land in sequence. The whole village economy reorganizes around the plow. Those farmers produce enormous surpluses. For the first time in European history, there is extra food, and the lord of the manor takes most of it. Serfdom is born, a new chain made of grain. You do not own the land you plow. You owe your labor to the Lord in exchange for protection. You cannot leave. Your children cannot leave. The plow has bound them to the soil. For 800 years, for most of Europe works someone else's plow, for someone else's food. And then there is the price everyone pays, the disease. The plow put humans close to cattle, pigs, chickens, horses, close enough to breathe them in, close enough to catch their diseases. Measles came from cattle. Smallpox came from cattle. Influenza came from pigs and ducks. Tuberculosis, the common cold. All of it came from agricultural living. Hunter-gatherer skeletons are tall, well-nourished, and show little evidence of disease. The first farmers are shorter, malnourished, and riddled with infection. By the way, you are clearly the kind of person who finds this stuff fascinating. If you want more hidden stories behind the things you use every day, hit subscribe. Now, back to our story. 1837, Grand Detour, Illinois. A 33-year-old blacksmith named John Deere takes a polished saw blade and hammers it into the shape of a plowshare. But the American Midwest has a problem. A serious one. The prairie soil is black, rich, and sticky. Previous iron plows cannot cut it. A farmer must stop every few yards and scrape the plow clean with a paddle. A full day of plowing yields 1 or 2 acres at most. The Midwest has the richest topsoil on Earth, and almost no one is farming it. Then John Deere has an insight. and the insight is simple. Polished steel is slipperier than iron. Dirt does not stick to it. The sticky prairie soil slides off as the plow moves. The blade self-cleans with every pass. He makes 10 plows in his first year, 40 the next. By 1850, he is making thousands. Farmers travel for days to buy them. Within 50 years, the American Midwest is transformed from empty prairie into the breadbasket of the world. Every loaf, every cereal box, every pizza crust traces back to the black prairie soil. It was John Deere's steel plow that first unlocked, and then the plow destroyed everything it had built. 1931, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Colorado. A drought settles over the Great Plains. For 30 years, farmers have been aggressively plowing the prairie, tearing up the native grasses whose roots held the topsoil in place. The grasses are gone, the soil is bare, and now the soil is dry. And without grass to hold it, the wind picks it up. Black blizzards, dust storms a mile high that blot out the sun at noon. Topsoil from Kansas falls on ships 300 miles out in the Atlantic. By 1935, 100 million acres of farmland are stripped bare. 2.5 million people flee their home. The same plow that unlocked the Midwest destroyed it. Here is the statistic. Around 40% of all ice-free land on Earth is now agricultural. The plow has reshaped the planet more than any geological process in human history, more than ice ages, more than continental drift. A third of the world's topsoil is classified as degraded. Tilling releases stored carbon from soil into the atmosphere. Modern agriculture contributes about 10% of global greenhouse emissions. No, till farming is now recommended by soil scientists everywhere. We are, very slowly, learning to farm like we did before. The plow ruined the ground. The plow fed 8 billion people, and the plow made 8 billion people. It gave us cities, kings, writing, trade, and bread. It gave us taxes, slavery, serfdom, and the Dust Bowl. It gave us measles, smallpox, and influenza. It gave us the first civilization and the first inequality in the same generation. Every grain of wheat you have ever eaten came from it, and every civilization you have ever lived in was built on top of it. The plow created civilization, and it ended freedom forever. If you like this, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and share it. Next time, we go from the tool that broke the soil to the tool that carried every drop of water. The history of the bucket. How a simple wooden vessel shaped every culture, enabled every city, and killed more people than any war. You will not look at a faucet the same way again. History is everywhere.